Political parties and politics are everywhere across the globe. But when it comes to corporate politics, when it comes to workplace politics, how does it sound? Do you think it should be there? Do you think somehow or the other it's existing because of some reason? Do you think corporate politics help others to become more stronger? Well, if these are the questions somehow or the other irritating you, then okay, let's find it out. Why do we need politics? Politics is somehow or the other a game, because nobody knows who's going to win and who's going to lose. So there is a question mark in somewhere. But still, it's an inevitable part. Why? Because somehow or the other, it's testing your ability and mental strength. So, say for example, 5 team members are there and 5 team members are performing. Now 5 team members are taking care of different clients, providing services to different clients. But somehow or the other, if we evaluate them properly, then you will find out maybe there are some differences, but somehow or the other they have performed really well. And it doesn't matter whatever the matrix you are following when it comes to measurement or evaluation. How will you justify, how will you distinguish that who's the person should move forward up the ladder and who's the person still needs more time to be in the same stage, and then probably that person can flourish? So on the basis of this, or on the basis of this particular platform and dilemma, politics do come into picture. So it's not only about your performance, it's not only about your client servicing skills, it's about a mental strength, how much you can take it. Most of the cases we do forget that the ultimate test is gonna be there out in the market, which is typically called your mental strength. So yes, you are taking something, you're taking pressure, you're taking different escalations and all those stuff, right? But not everyone can take it for a longer time. So you need to know how to park all those things for the time being and how to deal with it later on. Believe me, if any product stinks, you probably do not like to have it right now. But if you leave it for some time, you will find out that odor will go away a little bit. The same technique applies over here. If you think that okay, something is on fire and you are actually dealing with that quite often, but you want to put it away for some time, so your skill will come into picture, and that's where politics will come into picture as well. So it's about how diplomatically you can handle the situation and park that escalation or pressure, tension, a negative thing, issues for the time being. That's where your ability as a human being, as a leader comes into picture. So politics are required, and there are, I have seen it that 6 types of politics or corporate politics are existing in the market, but I'm not going to be talking about all those 6 types of politics. I'll be concentrating more on 2. Those 2 things or 2 types of politics are quite common, but somehow the other sometimes we ignore. And what are those 2 types of politics? Number 1 is called gossiping, and number 2 is called backstabbing. These 2 are pretty vital, in today's era. Why? Because we are human beings. We have a tendency to talk to others and share. So I said this before, that this particular channel I created to share. Now why do I want to share? Because I have a vision. But when you share something in your office with your colleagues, do you really have a vision, or do you just want to let it out? So think about it. So if you are letting it out, the other person will be getting to know. And why these sharing is pretty common? Because as I said, we don't want to keep everything inside of us, and we want to showcase. Now, when it comes to corporate life, when it comes to workplace, do you think a workplace is a common place? Do you think workplace is a natural place? It's not your house. It's not your relative's place, right? It's not your home ground. So why do you share all those things with others? Why do you like to? They are not your relatives. Remember, all colleagues, it doesn't matter whoever it is, we typically say in this corporate world that I have created a lot of friends, I've created a lot of acquaintances, but believe me, all of them somehow or the other are competitors. They're competing because everybody wants to win. So not everybody is going to win. Then how to differentiate? Politics required. And that is going to differentiate. That is going to test someone's patience and help the other persons to stand out. Other part which I talked about, that is called backstabbing. Now why the backstabbing thing will come into picture? So if you are trusting someone blindly, remember there are companies where you will find out trust is an inevitable part, is a core value, which is absolutely fine, but we need to understand what kind of trust we are talking about. So that kind of trust is typically related to transparency. So say for example a task is given to you and you are unable to perform, so the trust will come into picture and that will test whether you are disclosing it to your superiors or your managers or your supervisor, whatever it is. You're not actually lying or keeping it as a secret. That's what trust is. But if you think, okay, I have a secret and I have shared it with my colleague, and that person is not able to handle that secret the way probably you thought about, and you blame that particular person, okay, I trusted you and shared that particular information with you and you just backstabbed me. To think about it, how stupid it sounds. Why did you trust that particular person to share that secret? That is not trust. That is called stupidity. These are the things we need to understand. These are the things we need to evaluate, because whenever we go to office, remember, you are not dealing with your family members. You are not dealing with your friends. You are not dealing with your acquaintances typically. So I know it sounds pretty bad, and I feel pretty bad as well to share all these things and say out these loud, but it's reality. So I don't know how you guys are going to take it, but it is what it is and we have to deal with it. So do not leave space to others to use these two types of politics against you. Now how to do that? Well, simple. We gotta be professional. What is a professional approach then? You are going to workplace to work. Do your job and then be a part of the politics. Try to be mentally strong. Work with your supervisor. Try to get their advice. Work on it and grow.